All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Welcome to MO126C. All right. So, what we're doing right now, let's get rid of that. We don't need that right there. So, what we're doing today is we are going to finish up the nervous system, chapter 10. So, remember on Tuesday, we went through a good almost half of the chapter. Okay. What I'm going to do right now is we're just going to start over from the very beginning. I could tell that, I mean, it's a tough chapter, man. It's a little bit more complicated. The concepts are a little bit more convoluted. So, we're just going to take our time. Okay. Now, if you are comfortable with where we left off, you just go ahead and you fast forward. Okay. We left off, let's see, at the different structures of the brain. Okay. So, like the frontal lobe, temporal, etc. So you can just get on over to that slide if you're good. Otherwise, let's go through this. We're going to do it really fast. Remember, we're going to do it faster now than we would say on Tuesday, okay? All right, here we go. So, quick recap. What's a neuron? A neuron is going to be one itty bitty nerve cell. Check. It's microscopic. Ick, what is it pertaining to? Scope, to visualize, and micro. I can't see it. Itty bitty teeny weeny. Okay. Now, what's a nerve? What are nerves? ES plural. Okay. Nerves are a big old bunch of neurons. That's all. Okay. So remember the nerves, like I showed you on Tuesday, they're visible. You can see them. They are macroscopic, macro big. Okay. I can see it with my eye, macroscopic. Okay. Just like the nervous system I showed you on Tuesday. Okay. So when we bundle the neurons together, very much like a bundle of flowers, you get nerves, visible nerves. Okay. All right. Let's see. We have your voluntary and involuntary functions. Okay. They carry electrical messages. It's going to be the information being sent from the fingertip to the brain, to the brain, to the fingertip. Example, remember you touched that frying pan. That information on the tip of your finger, your hand, has to be sent all the way to your spine and brainal cord, spinal cord and brain to interpret the information. Okay. Then that spinal cord, I have to remember that brainal cord. I like that. Then the spinal cord and brain are going to give information, send information back to the fingertip, letting the finger know how it feels and what to do. Okay. All right. One of the ways that these messages get sent from one place to another is via the neurotransmitters. What's a neurotransmitter? Well, it's going to be a chemical that enables that impulse, that message, that information to hop and skip, remember, from one neuron to another. So we literally need, bam, to get from here to here to here to here. It's the neurotransmitter that is enabling that action. Look at neuro. What does neuro mean, my friends? Come on. And remember, like I told you last week, even though this is not live, let's pretend it is. And when I ask you a question, just answer it. And the really rad thing is, yes, rad, you can pause, rewind, slow it down, back it up. Let's go. Okay. So what does neuro mean? What does neuro mean? Come on, say it. Let's go. Nerve, nervous system. Okay. And then when we think of the term transmitter, what are we talking about? Yeah, to send, to move information, to transmit, to send. Okay. So a neurotransmitter, that's all, y'all. It's no trickery here. Bam, bam, bam. Okay, that's a neurotransmitter. Okay. An example of a neurotransmitter is going to be this funky word right here. There's lots of them: dopamine, serotonin, et cetera, et cetera. But this big old funky one, acetylcholine. I went ahead and wrote it phonetically for you because it is kind of a funny sounding name. Okay. Acetylcholine is an example of a neurotransmitter. Cool? Cool. Now, real quick, I realized, so external receptors, stimuli, that's going to be the frying pan. Internal receptors are going to be the neurotransmitters. You need to know that for your test. Okay. All right. Anything here? Nope. We already went over it. Okay, what's a nerve cell called? A neuron. Okay, collectively, many neurons make up what? Your nerves. Good. All right, we have two major divisions within this nervous system, the central and peripheral nervous system. Okay, the central nervous system is going to include the green dude right here. Okay, brain and spinal cord, check, check. Peripheral is going to be the cranial nerves, spinal nerves, plexuses, and the peripheral nerves throughout the body. I want you to know here, and my friends, look, man, I write it down for you. You're going to see it on your test. They carry impulses between the head, brain, and neck. Check, check, check. All right. When talking about these cranial and spinal nerves, there are different types of nerves that we have. We have sensory, we have motor, and then we have a combo. What are sensory nerves? They are nerves that are sending sense information to the brain: touch, sight, hearing, smell. Okay. So it's sending the information of what just took place in regards to our sensory systems. Okay. So sensory nerves are afferent. You touch the frying pan. Look over here. What's going to happen? You touch the frying pan. We got some major sensory information that needs to be sent to the brain and spinal cord. Now, what are these two bad dudes going to do with that information? Okay. They're going to take the motor nerves, efferent, and inform the body what to do because of it. Move your freaking hand, right? Ah, the brain is like, Mayday, Mayday, let's go. F, that hurts. Okay, so look, afferent, sensory, it's alerting the brain and spinal cord as to what's going on, what we're seeing, what we're hearing, what we're feeling. Then we have your efferent nerves. They're going to let the finger know how it feels, what to do. Cool? All right. All right, here we go. Autonomic nervous system. Automatic, we don't have to think about it. Remember that stick shift I told you about? Driving up the hill every day to work. It was so stressful. My very first car. I love that car, but I hated driving it. It was a stick shift. It was not automatic. I had to work to get through that red light halfway up the hill. Whereas an automatic, we don't have to really think about it. It's doing its thing. Okay. So the autonomic nervous system is going to do its thing with or without you. It doesn't matter, boo. Okay. It's going to do it. Involuntary muscles. We're talking your heart. We're talking the linings of your digestive tract, blood vessels, etc. Okay. All right. Within this autonomic nervous system, we have two different systems: the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. Okay. Now, the sympathetic, what is that? Your fight or flight. Go, go, go. What's it doing, my friends? It is speeding up your heart rate. It is constricting your blood vessels, which is raising your blood pressure. It is dilating. What does dilate mean? Opening up your bronchial tubes, getting way more oxygen in. Okay. It's like, go, let's go. Okay. Then we have your parasympathetic. Y'all, this is the equivalent of putting the slippers on, taking the bra off, whatever you want to do. Like whatever happens when you get home and you know you're home. You're like, let's go, boo. We're home. Okay. Slowing the heart rate, lowering the blood pressure. Why on earth do I have the word poop here? Because these two systems have your back. The sympathetic nervous system is very much like, honey, I know. I got you. I know we don't have time. You're stressed, you're busy, you're at work. You don't have time to poop. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to raise the blood pressure. We're going to get more oxygen into them lungs. And I'm also going to chill out that digestive tract for you. Oh, you're welcome. Cool, cool, cool. All right. We'll touch base later. All right. Darling gets home. Parasympathetic is like, guess what time it is? Let's go. Okay. So that's why there may be some of you that the minute you get to that door and you put that key in the lock, bam, you got to go. You know what that tells you? Is your subconscious sees your home as your safe space. There is a reason for that. I think somebody was saying in last class that they were on vacation. They just couldn't go the whole time. Yeah. It's sometimes frustrating, but your body in the most carnal, simplistic way is trying to save you. It's kind of funny. So it's the poop and slippers, okay? All right. Oops. Let's go. Okie dokie. So we're gonna actually skip this screen. We're gonna go right on over here, okay? Let's go take a look here what we're dealing with, okay? So what is this again? That's gonna be one neuron. We're looking at one neuron, this guy right here. My friends, what is a neuron? Just say it. Come on, ready? Go. A nerve cell, one nerve cell. You get a whole bunch of them, bam, bam. What do you get? Nerves, visible nerves that we can actually see, okay? So basically, look, you got your brain over here, you got your finger over here, and then we're gonna have all these neurons going from boop, 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 sending information from one side to the other. That's all, okay? So let's get to know these neurons, these individual nerve cells, okay? So the first to receive a nervous impulse, the message, the information, it's going to be, bam, the dendrite. What's the dendrite? The fingertips. Okay. The fingertips of the neuron. I even painted red nails so we would be clear on what these are. Little hands, grabby, grabby hands that are going to take that message. That message is going to be grabbed by the dendrite and it's going to make its way here. What is that? The cell body. Dude, no trickery. The cell body. What do we have within the body? The brain. That's the cell nucleus right here. Hey, listen, listen, here we go. Where do you find the cell nucleus? It's not going to be in the hand. It's not going to be in the foot. Where is it? Come on. It's in the body. It's in the body. The nucleus, the control center, is in the cell body. Okay. So now the message went from here to here. And then look at this. It's got to go all the way down this long stretch of road that's called the axon. The axon is leading away from the cell body to the other neuron, the next neuron. Okay. So the axon is like a long highway leading away from the cell body. Okay. That message has to get down that long highway. So the axon is covered by a myelin sheath. That myelin sheath is basically a lubed up slip and slide. What does the myelin sheath do? It insulates the axon and increases the speed of the message. So maybe not like a slip and slide, but more like a tunnel, like a tube type water slide. So it's insulated, but then it's also the inside of the tube is like covered with baby oil. Cool. And it's like that, like super slippery plastic. So the myelin sheath is increasing the message speed. I didn't say that correctly, right? So it's increasing the speed of the message being sent down that axon, okay? So when there is destruction, boop, 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 of this myelin sheath, okay, look at this. Let's go here, bop, 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 okay? Look at this. When there's destruction of that myelin sheath, what's gonna happen, okay? What's gonna happen? The message is gonna slow down if it gets sent at all. Uh-oh. What is that message? It could be anything, man. It could be sensory. It could be motor. It could be to turn your head to the left, to the right, to say yes, no. I mean, anything. The message is getting interrupted. That is MS, multiple sclerosis, okay? They have found that in MS, multiple sclerosis, there is destruction of that myelin sheath. And what's crazy about that, remember, these are microscopic structures. So this microscopic structure has an irregularity, a problem with one piece of this microscopic structure, and that's multiple sclerosis. Yeah. Okay. All right. So then we have, let's go here. The message has been sent through down through the axon. These are going to be the terminal end fibers, basically the exit doors. Okay. And then look here, we're already here. Look at this. The neuron, the next one. And so that means all of these right here, what is that? Yep, the dendrites of the new neuron. Cool. Uh-oh, but look, there's like space. There's like no man's land here. This guy can't swim or fly. So what do? Well, let's We're going to take this and then expand to this big square. Let's go. So let's get our bearings. This is going to be the terminal end fiber of that neuron up above. This right here is the dendrite of this guy. Okay. All right. And here's your space. Woo. Okay. And remember, we talked about the Jetsons, I think on Tuesday, right? Meet the Jetsons. So the neurotransmitter, remember what they do? They transmit nervous impulses, the message, via the Jetson mobile. So the neurotransmitter is that Jetson mobile. It's taking this guy, whoop, flying it on over here and bringing it to the next neuron. Okay. The reason I bring up the Jetson mobile is because this is space. It's literal space in between the neurons. There is a name for this space. It is called the synapse. Okay. All right. These structures, the neurons and nerves, what do they do, my friends? They transmit messages. They're essential structures of the nervous system. They are essential tissue. This is where the magic happens. That means that this is all parenchymal tissue. What? Parenchyma means essential tissue. So it is considered parenchymal tissue. Cool? Cool. There is other types of tissue within this nervous system that are not considered parenchymal. They are not considered essential. What are they? Stromal. Non-essential, kind of rude. They're supportive. Okay. A type of cell that is not essential, that is considered stromal, are glia cells. What do? They maintain the health of the nervous system. What do they not do? They do not transmit impulses. They keep this nervous system healthy, safe, and fed. Okay. Glia cells. Glial, AL is one of the 800 what? Pertaining tos. Yep. All right. All right. Different types of glial cells. Remember, they're stromal tissue of the nervous system. Astrocytes, microglia, oligodendroglia, and ependymal. Okay. I want you to know two of them. Your astrocytes transport water and salts between the capillaries and neurons. I wrote it down. Okay. They're star-like. And your ependymal cells line membranes within the brain and spinal cord. This is where CSF is produced. What does CSF stand for? Hang on. Oh, pardon me. Cerebrospinal fluid. Cerebro-brain spinal fluid. My goodness. All right. So an example of a blood-brain barrier type cell is your astrocytes. Okay. What does that mean? These cells, these brain cells, are going to separate capillaries from nervous cells. Okay. They literally, if you imagine, look at this. If you pretend a brain is here, this is a big old brain. Got it? See that? Okay, we're kind of got a brain. Boop. And then over here is a blood vessel. Here you have your nope cell, your astrocyte. It is saying, you cannot pass. You shall not pass. Nope. And that's actually what makes treating certain brain cancers so difficult, because chemotherapy can't get from here, whoop, over here. Nope. Okay. Blood-brain barrier. You may need to know that abbreviation. Okay. Check, check, check. What we're going to do, I am going to pause you for just a minute. Stop screen sharing. And go ahead and take a 2-minute break while I pull up the next slide.